Well, that happened. The game died. I don't really... whatever. See, this is why you make safety saves. That's pretty important. Also, 1 second, you know what, I should probably do this off camera, but, you know, professionalism in speedrun tutorial is not really something I value on too much. Or value too much. There we go. So, if you still have the will to live after watching that 50-decade long cutscene, by all means, let's finish up the game. It's actually pretty easy from this point on. So we're gonna exit here. Cast 4 speed. It's gonna skip like a really long cutscene with these two, or with these 4, I mean, that I can count, I swear. Yeah. Over here's one of the last soft buffers in the game. Start soft buffering height here, and cast it once you get down to the end of the ramp. Over here there's going to be a few robots that are going to be blocking our way, or tries to be specific. Just click on the door, the game's going to path you around those two, for some reason. These guys are pretty much unavoidable, or like that explosion is pretty much unavoidable. Just like hit one once and just wait for that guy to get out of the way. Jump and stab that dude in the face, but not really. Same for these two. Okay, so once you get around that bend over there, I'm gonna start hard buffering. So around the end of this ramp here. Like that. I would still like to remind you that you can hard buff in a more efficient way if you're confident in yourself or in your mashing ability. By like quick saving while running and then just like quick loading. Instead of going in and loading your quick save manually. Just as a heads up, as it will save quite a bit of time in this section, I'm just not confident in it myself. Hard buffer down here. Like so. Again, skips a pretty long cutscene. So over here you want to make a bunch of safety saves whenever you get past enemies that don't troll you. That's pretty important right here. Would like to say that's not going to be the end of the world coming up, but it's pretty damn close. These guys are just going to like shit on your cornflakes all day long, which is not that good. As you can see, slowdowns, you name it. You can get straight up stunned by these. It's nice. Can we make it? That'd be pretty good. Okay, that's fine. Poison is... God, for fuck's sake. It shouldn't last for too long. Also, I should have cast Force Resistance here. That's why I usually pick it for this specific hallway. Go over here, slide across the floor like an idiot. Hope. Make a safety save because this is... As much as I hate to say it, this is still pretty good. Because that can happen, naturally speaking. You're not gonna have fun here. Just don't pretend to have fun here. You'll get through this entirely fine. Sometimes. Half the time, maybe. 115 will get you through that. That's basically the last advanced conversation in the game where I have to do something other than just mash enter. What it does is it opens the door over there and it disables these gun turrets. As soon as we get into the next loading screen, we have to do a hard buffer right away. Okay, this is the second last area of the game. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna equip hyperlark these. Like that. We're gonna jump to this dude. Hope nobody spawns over there. I don't really know specifically what causes it, but I suspect that it's memory usage. It will usually be around, I want to say, 1400 megabytes of usage at this point. Something similar to that. So I'm guessing that has a large part to do with how fast dudes are gonna spawn in these hallways. Okay, so up here is probably the most random enemies in the game. Not the longest to kill, not the hardest to kill, just the most random. They can cost you anywhere between no seconds and like all the seconds. So you can see this dude up here, the one like standing and pointing at you and like turning blue and shit. He's the most important one as he has force push. He can do that indefinitely. There's nothing you can do against it, you just have to hope that it doesn't hit you. Or that he just doesn't cast it. This guy should be the last one. Also, if you get low on HP, of course, heal up again. We have like infinite med packs, so we should be fine on that front. Once we kill the 3 that started up here, that like anyone else up here doesn't really matter. That door's gonna open. And here we want to make a safety save. This is pretty important actually. So here's Bastila, the second last fight. She's pretty easy to do, but the main thing you want to do is, after you beat her the first time, is you want to speak to her right away as soon as possible. Only once. And then you want to beat her normally. It'll skip like 1 round of combat, which is pretty good. Also, your force speed is usually gonna run out here. I usually recast it after doing the first attack, because I'm pretty bad at remembering. Okay, I didn't hit it, so I'm not gonna try again. Getting good rolls here though, so it doesn't matter too much. Skip through that, and then click on the map button, like usual, then add whoever you want to the party. Like, you can add any of these. Karth is still... He's not, like, stasis anymore. Bastila is available. The best options would probably be Karth and Bastila. Karth is really strong because he has 2 blasters and power blast. And Bastila is pretty strong as if we also level her, she's going to just deal snot tons of damage. Then let this cutscene play out as normal, and wait a bit.
Fair. A break in the set formations. Green squadron, move in.
Green squadron moving in.
So after that's done, you're gonna load in properly. These guys are gonna be in your party. Also level them. Give Bastila her lightsaber and keep moving. Don't bother too much with getting like the optimal build setup or anything, since we only have like the last boss fight, and he's actually pretty easy. Just a little bit random. Walk over here. As soon as you get to this line right here, start buffering. This is a soft buffer. It's the last save buffer of the game. Once you get to the door here, cast force speed, and you should be able to get through really easily. So as you can see, Malak is standing there being all menacing and stuff, but we're gonna use the ultimate weapon of just running into this corner and switching party members repeatedly, which will place eventually somebody behind here that we can just open the door with. And like that, we're in the final area of the game. As you run out here, you wanna use your last hyperstims. Use whatever force powers you want to use. Don't use too much yet, as you will need to be able to cast more force powers in a bit. I wouldn't go below like 2/3 force, like mana bar basically. So this guy can troll you a little bit, but he's usually not that hard to actually beat. It's just a matter of time. Like, he can vary quite a bit in amount of time spent on actually beating him. But the ones that should usually kill you the most is actually the Sith Governor on Taris. If you can get past that one, you're usually fine. All the rankers on Leyhon, those are pretty bad. So as you can see, this dude is turning these guys into raisins, which is actually pretty rude. So instead of like letting him do that, we're going to do it for him. Which makes perfect sense. So whenever you see these particle effects, it means Malak has stripped off also our force powers. So whenever that happens, you just want to like recast your force speed and whatnot, and keep moving. Whenever you like train one of these dudes, you just get full health and full force and all of that. One thing to note about this specific spot here is if you go into the corner here and then press 2 here, you can train this captive Jedi without having to go down here. Get the last few. And timing stops as soon as we kill or like we defeat Malak. Because he removed our force powers again, recast. If you only can queue up a few extra attacks here, doesn't matter too much. It's a pretty good roll. And we're done. That's the end of run. Hopefully this has been useful, you've been able to learn something. I hope, really. I mean, I know I've gone kind of fast with the tutorial compared to some of the earlier ones out there, but I think it should still be useful to some extent. So time is stopped at this point. You can just like go ahead and alter for the game if you want, but most of us like to bug out the last few cutscenes. Or the most of us that's run the game beforehand.
Admiral Dodonna, we've hit their main orbital stabilizers.
Everyone pull back.
So, if any of you have any questions about this, I would recommend leaving it for
The Sith are routed.
for this video, if possible. I know this might not be the case and might not like be all that practical, but I'm probably gonna check this one the most, to be honest. Just for comments and stuff. So one last thing you can do here after you're done with the run is you can kind of despawn everybody. Except Astela, she's always gonna be there. But yeah, that's basically just despawns every single dude here. It's pretty great. Also, if you can like find the perfect angle, you can go completely out of bounds here. Let's see if we can get it. I think it's like over here somewhere. Okay, never mind. Anyways, that's the last episode. Hopefully you'll be able to use some of this information. Have fun practicing and all of that good stuff. Later.